All right, let's talk about EFT and chakra tapping. I have a longer tutorial on EFT, which I think is important to watch, especially if you're just beginning. But I want to just go through briefly how we tap and where we tap. There's two types of tapping that I teach in my book, How to Heal Yourself When No One Else Can, and also in my other work. And one of them uses EFT or meridian tapping points, which are a certain part of the energy system. The other technique, chakra tapping, uses a different set of points, chakra points. And chakras and meridians are two different parts of the same energy system. Let me show you briefly how you use either of the tapping, either of the tapping techniques with different sets of points. It's the exact same process, okay? So you always start on the karate chop point, which is right here. And you always start with a setup statement that's very simple. Even though I have this, and you state whatever the problem is, even though I have this anxiety, even though I have these migraines, even though I have this pattern of getting depressed when somebody hurts my feelings, even though I have this crappy feeling in my body, I don't know what it's from. Even though you just fill it in with whatever you're feeling that you're about to work on. The second part of the statement is, for me, I usually use the second part of the statement as I choose to let it go or I'm okay anyway. Okay? The typical EFT end of the statement is I love and accept myself completely. You've probably heard that. I never use it. It doesn't resonate with me. I choose to let it go or I can be okay anyway. So even though I have this, you fill in the blank with the thing you have, I choose to let it go. Or even though I have this, I can be okay anyway. And you just say it 3 times as you repetitively tap on your karate chop point. That's it, okay? Everybody overcomplicates that. It's so easy. You just throw it out there. What are you dealing with? And make a statement about you being okay anyway or being willing to let it go. That's all you do for the karate chop point. Once you've done that 3 times, you're going to go to the rest of the tapping points. And as you go through the rest of the tapping points, what you are going to do is simply talk about or think about whatever is bothering you. You vent. I call this the venting process, as if you were complaining or telling me or a friend all the thoughts in your head. None of the thoughts have to connect with each other. It doesn't have to make sense. You don't even need to know what you're talking about. It doesn't need to be logical. I just want you to go through and tap on the points at the same time that you're venting about the problem. Now, let's quickly go over the 2 sets of points. The first one that we're going to go over are the EFT tapping points. The first point is on the top of the head. The next point is on the inside of the eyebrow. Next point is on the side of the eye, under the eye, top lip, indentation of the chin, under your collarbone on either side of your neck, side of the body, thumb, and you're tapping the lower right-hand corner of each nail, pointer finger, middle finger, next finger, pinky finger, back to the karate chop point, and then you would just keep going. So I tap a few times, 5 to 7 times on each point. I say one phrase or one venting phrase per point, and you just keep tapping until you start to feel better or until you're out of time or patience and you come back to it, okay? Tapping isn't always an instant fix, although I do have a lot of people who feel better immediately. You'll need to tap for a while. Start with 5 to 10 minutes, see how you feel. Every few rounds, which means you've gone through all the points, you take a big deep breath, see how you feel, go back to it. There is no crazy specific way you have to do this. You start with the karate chop point. Even though I have this, state the problem. I choose to let it go, or I can be okay anyway. And then you do several rounds through the rest of the points, venting about all the things in your head. People often say to me, I don't know what to say. And I say, with all the thoughts in your head, all the narrative that constantly goes on, you now have no words, now have no thoughts. So really it's all about venting. I say my job is a lot of improv when I do tapping with people, because it truly is improv. I just come up with whatever I feel is coming up, whatever I think of, doesn't matter. I don't try to analyze it. Okay, so now you know the basics for EFT. Chakra tapping is something that I sort of created or adapted during my own healing journey after using EFT and seeing sometimes I felt like I wasn't getting the shift I wanted. So then I started tapping on chakra tapping points, which is just a different part of the energy body. We start with the same, even though I have this problem, I choose to let it go. Now let me show you the other set of points, which are chakra tapping points. Top of the head, which is actually the same as an EFT point, in between the eyes, throat chakra, heart chakra. The next one is under, it's hard for you to see here, but under the sternum at the top of your abdomen. The next point is at your belly button. If I stand up, I'll knock my wire off. And the last point is on the top of your thighs, and you just tap like you're calling a little puppy up on your lap. Come on, come on. Or for that last chakra, you can do your lower back, your sacrum. And again, you just go through all the tapping points as you vent. You take a deep breath in between every few rounds and keep going. That is EFT and chakra tapping. Please, please, please promise me that you won't overcomplicate it, okay? You do the karate chop point, you do lots of rounds through the rest of the points, you say whatever comes up, super relaxed, super casual, you're just venting. Pretend you're talking to a friend on the phone. You'll think of all kinds of things to say, or you can pretend you're talking to me and just keep tapping. As soon as you're done with your tapping session, what you can do is just do one round through all the points, one last round, tapping on something positive. We never want to tap on the positive when we're tapping to try to release the energy, which is what you're doing when you're tapping and talking about all the quote unquote negative. You're essentially just bringing up how you feel so that you can tap and let it go at the same time. Some people worry that they're, going to tap it into their body. No, you could tap all day long. I'm terrified of kittens. I promise you'll never become terrified of kittens. We're bringing up what's already there and we're tapping to let it go. But on this last round, I will let you do some happy tapping, which is simply just tapping, I'm okay. I can be okay now. I can be okay now. I can let this go. Whatever happy tapping you want to do, whatever phrases you want to do is totally fine. I can be okay now. I can calm down. Just do some nice self-talk for the last round. And you just need to do one round of just tapping in some positive things. It's basically just to end on a happy, positive note once you've cleared all that stuff. Okay, that's it. You've got it.